Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you're here live or catching the recording. I'm thrilled that you could be here for one of my all-time favorite classes featuring our Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'm Christy Gammon, your wellness advocate. I've been with doTERRA Essential Oils for 10 years now, and I would call myself an essential oil enthusiast and a natural health educator. I'm also a spiritual director, retreat leader, and speaker and writer at your service this evening or whenever you're catching the recording. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here and be able to share what I've learned with you. Normally when I teach classes, my focus is heavily on our essential oils. Even though they've been around for thousands of years, many people, they're still new to many people. That's how I felt when I first learned about them just 10 years ago. I had no idea that these resources were available. And so it's really important to teach on their potency, their purity, and how to use them safely. How you can be empowered to manage upwards of 80% of the ailments and issues that life's going to throw at you. I love to be able to equip people to be able to actively participate in their health and wellness from the convenience of their homes. And we like to say with a book and a box, you can cover at least 80% of those common ailments and issues that we all deal with going through life. And I typically will mention the LLV or Lifelong Vitality Pack for just a hint in any class that I teach, but tonight it gets to be the star of the show. LLV, hands down, is my favorite product, and I can probably only say that I'm such an essential oil lover because there are essential oils in these supplements. That's quite a distinguishing factor for them. This may surprise you. They're also doTERRA's #1 product. So I want to share a little bit of my personal testimony tonight, which I typically do not go into when I'm just mentioning these briefly during any other class. So I started taking them a couple years in to my journey with doTERRA. My body was highly toxic and I needed to work through some things first. But once I started taking them, I have never turned back. And this is just a quick version of what I experience when I take them. I sleep better. I actually need less sleep, which is a miracle. I have more energy. Like, I can't even imagine the difference that it's made in my life. And people who know me can see that difference, and that's really fun. My brain fog has been lifted, making way for mental clarity and a lot of ease in decision making. I experience less pain. Back in my early 30s, I was in so much pain, joint pain and muscle pain. And this is when Kate was really young, that I would just spend some days on the couch, not even able to make it down to the basement to change a load of laundry. That's how severe it would get just randomly and shut me down. So I don't have that kind of pain ever anymore. I get sick less often. And so certainly not dealing with anything major, but also just as, you know, the seasons change, weather changes, I find myself not being as susceptible to some of the symptoms and things that other people will come down with, and they'll just chalk it up to, well, it's fall or winter or flu season or what have you. And I just tend to be more fortified and protected from those common things. My digestion has even improved. I'm not a person who's ever complained of really any digestive issues. However, once I started taking the supplements, I felt like everything just started working like clockwork. Something that I just thought was okay turned into amazing, just really regular and healthy in that department, which is so cool. My hair and my nails are stronger. I've always been really prolific in the hair department, but to be able to have strong nails instead of brittle, breaking off, uneven nails all the time, I now have nails that I need to cut and file, and sometimes I even paint them. It's really fun, and it just feels feminine and healthy to actually have fingernails to speak of. And then also something that was unexpected is that my vision improved. For a long time, I would go to the eye doctor, and this process started when I was very young, either 4 or 5 years old. I started seeing the eye doctor. I got my first pair of glasses in kindergarten. And from that point forward, my eyes have always gotten worse every single appointment that I go to, until a couple of years ago. And all of a sudden, my vision finally stabilized, and he thought, well, maybe, my doctor thought maybe that's because I finally reached a certain age. Good grief, it's got to stop at some point or I'm headed toward legal blindness. And then all of a sudden, the last couple of appointments, I've actually experienced improvement in those numbers, which has been really exciting. So hopefully that whets your appetite. I'm going to share my screen and call up our presentation here. Let's see. Well, I am not seeing that. Let me see here. One moment here. Let me play with this. Just not getting the right screen. Oh, that's why. Okay, I had to restart had to restart my computer just a little bit ago to do some updates and refreshing, and so I lost that window. I apologize. Just give me a second while I reopen that, and I'll just get it going in the right format here and then share it with you. So let me just come back. And try that again. Yep, there we go. The beauty of being live. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see that now. This will be our presentation as we click through the class. So tonight we're going to be covering the Lifelong Vitality Pack. That's these 3 beautiful bottles of goodness pictured there on our screen. And our goal is going to be to look, feel, and live younger, longer. And so I want to start by inviting each and every one of you, if you haven't already, I encourage you to try these amazing supplements. And if you're already taking them, then I'd love for you to develop a more comprehensive understanding of how and why they work on your way to enjoying living your life to the full. So cheers to that. I'm going to grab a drink of my tea. I invite you all to have a beverage on hand and some pen and paper. There's a ton of information in this class, and so you're going to see me looking down at my notes more than I normally do. It's kind of crazy how much information is in this, but I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible and just pack as much into this class as we can, and hope you love the benefit of that. Okay, there we go. So first, I want to just lead off by saying I love that doTERRA is not just an essential oil company. We consider ourselves a wellness company, and I'm called a wellness advocate, not just an essential oil advocate. And so I believe this points to our commitment to overall health and wellness. Because bottom line, there's no magic pill. We actively influence our wellness based on daily choices that we make. And if you look at the pyramid there, you're going to recognize all those steps on the ladder and agree with me. There's just not much in our lives that's beyond our control when it comes to managing our wellness. So it's our option to be involved, to choose in, to participate in our wellness. And yes, we have oils and products to support us along the way, each choice that we make on any of those levels. But the reason why we're focusing on LLV tonight is that it is foundational, and it actually makes an impact on each one of the rungs in our pyramid. And so let's start by just addressing the elephant in the room right off the bat. We get this question all the time. Why do I really need a supplement if I'm eating a healthy diet? Um, shouldn't that be enough? And the truth is, even if you're eating the full rainbow of nutrition, you're just not getting the nutrients that you need, not in the quantities that you need. Um, Not like our great grandparents or maybe even our grandparents experienced. Our food supply is simply not as nutrient dense as it used to be. Think of the quality of soil, the growing and farming methods, the processes used to mass produce our produce. We have fast foods and less healthy choices on every corner, and the bottom line is that everyone needs a supplement. Now, many of you may have had an experience with an essential oil off the bat to address a discomfort. Maybe that was digestion and you found digestion really helps you. Or maybe it was on guard, you needed an immune boost like I did. And hopefully, beyond that initial impact, that wow factor you got from, maybe you call it your gateway oil, the one that brought you in, hopefully you're willing to stick around for the total health and wellness benefits available to you, many of which lie in our nutrition. Yes, there are oils, but if we're not addressing the root cause, which is often found in our nutrition, which can be supported by our supplementation, then we're doing ourselves a huge disservice. So let's opt in for the total package. If you've reached the point where you're willing to take a supplement, you've made that leap in your mind, okay, I realize the importance, this is something that I want to embark on. If you started to research options in the marketplace, oh my goodness, it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of competition out there. And so I want to give you a few bewares as you start looking. One, beware marketing strategies. Just because someone sounds good and maybe they're priced well and that suits your budget, doesn't mean it's what you actually want out of your supplement. What we're looking for, and get ready to hear these words over and over again in tonight's class, we're looking for true whole food sources, true whole food ingredients, and bioavailability. And so if that's not part of the marketing plan, then maybe keep looking. Second, you want to be aware of not getting enough of anything to matter. Maybe you have experienced one-a-days, typical multivitamins, and other than maybe an upset stomach, some unpleasant burps, and neon urine, you've not really experienced much from that multivitamin. Nothing to really be able to tell a difference whether you're taking it or not. You're just hoping that some magic is happening in your body that you can't really feel or notice. A lot of times, big companies will do what they call fairy dusting. And so they'll maybe print the latest buzzword ingredient on their packaging, but they've just put in a tiny trace amount of it, not enough of it to do any good for you. So beware of those kind of claims. Also beware the mega dose. That's what you're looking at in the middle section there. Studies are now showing that extreme doses of supplement ingredients can range from being ineffective to even harmful. And so we want to avoid these. They actually can increase the toxicity in our bodies and block the absorption of the goodness. Maybe there's something good in that supplement that's worth holding on to. Maybe you're eating some healthy foods. You don't want to lose the benefit of those good things. So finally, where we land is balance is best. And LLV, doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack, lands in that optional section there, the optimal zone, which is purple. And so you get the ideal measurements of each of the ingredients that you're looking for. So without further ado, let's take a look at the three main components to doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. And what we're going to do over the course of this class is only focus on these three products. We're going to look at the top benefits of each, and we're going to go into more detail on each one of these, so we won't spend that time here. But just to give you the overview, we've got these three bottles, and we're going to go in this order: the Microplex VMZ, then the VEO Mega, and finish with the Alpha CRS Plus. First, I just want to underscore that there is a ton of clinical research to back up the efficacy of these supplements, and you can read for yourself everything that's there on the slide. Studies are showing that lifelong vitality provides everything you see here. And when we give our bodies what they need, especially on a cellular level, they have incredible self-restoring capabilities, and we start to feel all these benefits. It's the foundation of our nutrition, our overall health and wellness, our life and vitality. Look at that list. Isn't that incredible? Something that you might want to screenshot. So let's start with our Microplex VMZ. This is the bottle that you might compare to a multivitamin that you've taken in the past. But this product is so much more than just a vitamin. And on this screen, I want to break down for you what the name means, because some of these names are kind of a mouthful, but they hold the meaning of what's inside the bottle. So Microplex stands for micronutrients and complex. The VM, you might be able to guess, that stands for vitamins and minerals. And then the little Z there stands for or indicates that improvements have been made to the original formula. doTERRA actually went through a whole product upgrade in 2016. So that's when the small letters were added to each of the bottle names. And so what we're going to do for each bottle is zero in on these supplement facts. What are the ingredients and what do they mean to us? What's inside the bottle and why it's different from other things you're used to seeing. So first, we're going to talk about essential vitamins and minerals and their bioavailability. This is a balanced blend of 22 essential vitamins and minerals, and it's like having 12 or more servings of fruits and veggies every day. These vitamins and minerals are carefully formulated for optimal levels, as we talked about, supporting our cellular growth, immune function, energy production, and maintaining healthy cells. They're classified as essential because our bodies don't produce them in enough quantity to sustain life. So we have to acquire them through our nutrition or diet to survive. And I would argue when you add in a supplement that's the quality of this one, you're doing way more than surviving, you're thriving. And so I'd love for you to join me in that. And we talk about bioavailability. You're going to hear me say that a lot. What this means is that our bodies recognize our supplements as actual food. And when they recognize the supplements as actual food, then they can provide us with bone health. You'll see, and we're going to be going down this the list of supplement facts here. You're going to see calcium, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin D. They can provide us with immune function and healthy digestion and antioxidants. Check out vitamins A, C, and E. They can provide an energy complex of B vitamins, a balanced blend of minerals, including natural coral calcium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, and other chelated minerals. What does chelated mean? We are going to touch on that in just a little bit. So make a note, and we'll come back and define that in a few minutes. Natural forms of vitamin E and true folate sources from lemon peel. This was a big thing that I learned. Maybe you've heard folic acid before. I was familiar with it in terms of being a critical ingredient in prenatal vitamins. So you'll hear a lot about the importance of folic acid. I did not know that that's actually a synthetic. Folic acid is not a naturally occurring thing. It's the folate that we want, and that's what folic acid is imitating. So I thought you would be thrilled to know. I encourage you to do your own research into folic acid and folate, but for the moment, you'll be thrilled to know that we do have a true folate source from lemon peel in this supplement. Then the next little section on the label is the proprietary whole food blend. These are whole foods based. You'll find nothing synthetic. They're all natural sources, including superfoods such as kale, dandelion, kelp, and other greens. This is kind of fun. We have Tummy Tamer, which includes peppermint, ginger, and caraway. So this supplement will not upset your stomach either. And this is important too. These are all made with sodium lauryl sulfate free veggie caps. If you've ever heard of sodium lauryl sulfate or SLS, it's a big no-no ingredient. It's highly inflammatory to the body. Sadly, a lot of supplements, a lot of products in general will use that because it's readily available and it's cheap, but it's very harmful and you want to avoid that. So you look for it in your skin care, in your hair care, and your oral care as well, and try to eliminate that wherever you can. But rest assured that your supplements are SLS free. There's also no milk or wheat products, so they're dairy free and gluten free, and they're also vegan. Let's see, so chelation, bioavailability, we're going to talk more about those things when we go over the glycoprotein matrix. That's coming up, so hold on to your hats. And you'll notice, I think, that we skipped a little section there. We're going to be coming to that here in a minute as well, that active enzyme blend we're going to come to. So let's move on for the moment. And just want to make the point, it's critical when taking a supplement that the ingredients be recognized, broken down, and used as food. And if you don't remember yet, that's the definition of bioavailable. With standard vitamins, we tend to excrete most of it. And then there goes your money, literally down the tubes, because the ingredients are not bioavailable. And so comparing the average absorption rate for a supplement, if you're using something from a grocery store or a health food store, the average absorption rate for those products out on the market today is 8%. That's a terrible number. That's so low. That's you're not using 92% of what you're buying. It's just going in and right back out. So doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack, our absorption rate is 90%. That's a much better number. And of course, that's going to vary based on your own body and the environment that you're putting the supplements into, but that's an average. So that means that the healthier you become with your daily life choices, the more and more absorption you'll be able to have. And that's really cool. The Lifelong Vitality Pack accomplishes this bioavailability in a couple ways. So first, let's look at minerals. When minerals come into the body, they combine with amino acids to create complexes known as chelated minerals. So I promised I would define this for you. So chelation actually enhances bioavailability. So as the minerals come into the body pairs them with amino acids, and then they become chelated minerals. Then these chelated minerals are able to balance each other. And these are iron, zinc, selenium, copper, magnesium, and chromium, so that your body gets the proper benefit from them. And then let's talk about nutrients. And I will refer you here to the slide and the glycoprotein matrix. So likewise, when your nutrients come into the body, they get paired with nutritional yeast. And this is a good yeast. So when you think about good bacteria in the gut and you want that to be there and it's distinguished from bad bacteria, this is good yeast. So you want this to be in your body. It's cultured, there's no candida, there's no gluten issues here. And then this combination the nutrients getting paired with the nutritional yeast then becomes recognized as a dietary protein. And so this helps your body assimilate it properly. And so then let's come back to that one little section on the supplement facts that we didn't cover, and that's the enzyme delivery system. And this helps your digestive system. So it's helping your body break down all the components plus the foods that you're eating along with them to obtain the highest overall nutritional value. So it's helping you get the most out of your supplements and the most out of the foods that you're eating, properly absorbing into the body and converting everything into energy. Hallelujah. So I hope you're starting to see all the goodness that is just packed into these supplements and that it is available to you. Available to you and to your body like no other supplement can provide. And this is just the first bottle. So let's move on. Number 2 is our VEO Mega. And that the VEO Mega has been specially formulated to work in tandem, in combination with the Microplex VMZ for your optimal level of foundational health. So let's, like we did with our VMZ, let's go over the name of this and what it means. So first off, that little X is a Greek letter X, so it's pronounced Z. And so you say VEO Mega. And we'll start with the EO, that stands for essential oils. The Mega stands for omegas. You get that cute little play with the O there. And then X, you might guess that the little X or Greek Z, that stands for the improvements over the original formula, which I mentioned took place in 2016. The good news is that this supplement goes well beyond your typical fish oil with a much wider spectrum of health benefits. So let's dive in. Let's see here. Sorry, I have so many notes. I just want to make sure I'm reading off the right thing here. So omegas actually translate to EFAs, or essential fatty acids. So when we talk about EFAs, we're talking about our omegas. And we call them essential because they're necessary to our bodies. And we've heard this once before, but our bodies can't produce enough on their own. So we need to get them from outside sources, food sources. And so you might think, oh, well, I can handle that. I can just eat some fish. However, you're going to want to limit the quantities that you have on fish. It wouldn't be prudent to overload your diet with fish in the hopes of getting the EFAs that you need. There are a lot of concerns, environmental threats, pollution, contaminants, etc., that you just want to be careful with your fish intake. And then also you need to balance the types of omegas if you want the desired results. And so looking at the list there on your screen, if you're interested in brain health, heart health, joint health, immune health, mental health, myelin sheath function, and cell growth, then yes, I think we want to just pursue this a little deeper and see how we can get this goodness into our bodies. I say yes to all of those things on the screen. And so let's break down what essential fatty acids are and distinguish between the 6s and the 3s. Now, 6s are not bad. I don't want you to get the idea that they're bad because they kind of look like good versus evil on the screen here. They're not bad as long as they're balanced. The trouble is those omega-6s are the most common and they're the most familiar, and we're more likely to bring those into our diet than the 3s. And so while the ideal ratio would be 1-to-1 so that they balance and keeps the body happy, our modern diet, unfortunately, has the 6s coming into our body in more of a 15-to-1 ratio. And since our omega-6s create inflammation and our omega-3s eliminate inflammation, it's so dangerous to have them that far out of proportion just based on what we're eating. And that's an average, the 15-to-1. In some extreme cases, we're even seeing 20-to-1. And that, I mean, inflammation then is just rampant at that point and it can become deadly. So we definitely don't want to go down that path. I probably don't have to illustrate that inflammation is responsible for all kinds of disruption in the body. It's linked to all manners of poor health, such as mood, cognitive function, contributing to the progression of many non-communicable diseases, issues such as inflammation being the root cause of just so many life-threatening illnesses. And so what the VEO does is provides healthy omegas to restore that balance between the 6s and the 3s in our body. So maybe you have a delicious salmon dinner once a week, you're taking your LLV regularly, you no longer have to worry about any imbalance of 6s to 3s in your body. Such good news. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper here and look at the supplement facts for our VEO Megas. This balance that we're looking for is accomplished through an ultra pure marine and land-based formula, which each provide reliable and consistent sources of omega-3s. So let's start with the marine ingredients. We're bringing the EPA and the DHA, which is extremely important to every cell in our bodies, and they are balanced in this supplement, which far exceeds what you would normally see in a fish oil supplement just over the counter. Often these are either unbalanced or lacking in what is needed. These EPAs and DHAs in our supplement come from renewable sources of anchovy, sardine, and mackerel from the Humboldt Current in the Pacific Ocean. This is a very clean, certified, sustainable source, and every batch is tested and confirmed free of more than 250 possible contaminants. Can you imagine? Just consider the risk if that level of testing is not connected to other supplements that are out there. And I mean, do you really do that much research to find out where that fish oil is sourced? Probably not. And so the risk factor there can just be off the charts. So then we also bring in plant-based ingredients. These are our ALA, SDA, and GLA, and they're sourced from the amazing Echium plant. Now, the body can convert some ALA and SDA into EPA and DHA, but the conversion rate is varied among individuals. So that's why you see that we include a range of each kind. That way we're focusing on the least common denominator, no matter who you are and what state of health you are in, what you're putting into your body. Everybody is going to benefit from this particular blend. And it comes alongside the body to help it do what it needs to do. Then you'll also see the rare omega-5s are included in our supplement derived from the pomegranate. And so far, we have just talked through the omegas, and there's much more included, but I want to take a second to mention that we do have a vegan option. If somebody is following a strict vegan diet, this is the one place where you would want to make a swap. So you would want to take the VEO Mega out and swap in the VEO Mega. The other two supplement bottles, the VMZ and the CRS, are already naturally vegan, so you don't have to worry about those. So this VEO Mega would be 100% compatible with a vegan lifestyle, replacing the EPA and DHA fish oils with plant-based flaxseed, algae, Inca inchi seed, borage seed, cranberry seed, pumpkin seed, pomegranate seed, and grape seed oils. It still has all the carotenoid and CPTG benefits. What does CPTG mean? That's a reference to our certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, which we are just about to tell you a little bit more about. And all of this for only $10 more. So that's for you if it's very important to have a fully vegan supplement. Okay, so if you have seen the VEO Megas before, then you'll recognize they're those cute little red pills floating there next to the word astaxanthin. And you'll notice the unusual red color. This is thanks to a very powerful antioxidant carotenoid extracted from microalgae cultivated in a pure water system, which is activated by light. What? This is so cool. And so what you're looking at here is a farm. Our source is actually grown in Israel. And I want to go just into a little more detail so that what you're seeing on this screen makes more sense to you. So just take that in for a moment, and then let's get a little more up close and personal. So the microalgae responds to UV exposure by producing this compound called astaxanthin, which is its defense mechanism against oxidation. And we are going to talk a little bit more about oxidation, so you'll see why this is so important. So as you can see, when this takes place, it turns the microalgae from the light green color to the deep crimson red. And this is what it looks like under a microscope. But pretty cool how you could also see it with the naked eye, just looking at the field. The astaxanthin is then microfiltered and standardized for potency, along with natural vitamin E, to provide an impressive list of benefits. Tell me what you think about these. Protecting against lipid oxidation in our brain and throughout our circulatory system, supports eye health, improves muscle strength and endurance, aids the liver and digestive system, supports skin health, protective benefits. Oh, this is so cool. Every once in a while you just come across something and you're like, what? How can this be? So these microalgae are responding to UV exposure when they create the astaxanthin. It's actually their defense mechanism against the UV rays. I'm just repeating that a couple of times because I know this is so many big words and it was an entirely brand new concept for me. So the repetition helps me. So when we ingest the astaxanthin, we actually benefit from additional UV protection from our inside out. So the more you take your LLV on a regular basis, it's actually supporting your body against UV exposure, just as you go through your normal everyday life. So what a cool benefit. And then also healthy immune function. And finally, it contains other carotenoid antioxidants, including lutein and zeaxanthin from the marigold flower, and then lycopene from tomatoes. You might have heard of that before, furthering the neuroprotective, circulatory, and eye health benefits that I've already mentioned. So cool. Okay, let's see here. Next. Sorry, I have so many pages of notes. Okay, next, we're going to look at the CPTG essential oil blend, which of course can only be found in doTERRA's supplements. So this is a huge point of differentiation between our supplement and others that you might find in the market. And so if astaxanthin wasn't enough, this brings us to the star of the VEO Mega supplement, and that is our superpower blend of these 9 essential oils. They've all been carefully selected as mood and immune system boosting agents, inflammation reducing agents, as well as, let me grab a quick drink here. Sorry, there's so many words. As well as for their powerful antioxidant nature. So they function as a natural preservative system that further protects those EFAs from oxidation. Because of what we know about essential oils' fat-soluble nature, now if you've been to essential oil classes before, this is going to start to sound familiar, their ability to permeate or pass through our fat-soluble membranes. They pass through our skin, they cross the blood-brain barrier, they can also access the interior of our cells. So this makes the EFAs 10 times more bioavailable to our bodies, and you are definitely not getting that from any other supplement. So imagine how beneficial it is to your body to drive all these ingredients deep down to the cellular level. Plus, you see peppermint there on the screen. And in addition to other qualities, it's there to help prevent against the dreaded fish burp. And so I can speak from my own personal experience. If anyone else has their own testimony and wants to share, I've never experienced a fishy aftertaste or a fishy burp with this supplement. And so just to wrap, there's just true synergy between the VMZ and the VEO Mega that just cannot be found anywhere else. These first two supplements that we've now covered form our daily nutrient pack. So if you were just to put the VMZ and the VEO Mega together, that would be our daily nutrient pack. It's expertly formulated to work in harmony, giving us no more and no less than what we need every single day. It's the ideal level of foundational health. And now I hope you're able to see why no single fish oil and or multivitamin can even come close to what these two offer. However, I'm not done. We have a third bottle. When you add this third rock star, you've completed the lifelong vitality pack. This is Alpha CRS Plus, beyond daily nutrition to inside out wellness and vitality. This is the one that absolutely makes you radiant. So let's break down the name like we've done before. Alpha means first or foremost. CRS stands for Cellular Renewal System. And the little plus, as you might guess by now, indicates the improvements that were made over the original formula. In this product, you're going to find four main benefits. First is antioxidant support. Second is increased energy. Third is it builds your immune system. And fourth, it improves your mental clarity. Yes, so much goodness. So now let's talk about oxidation. Let's talk a little bit about free radicals and oxidation, which is another term that I promised I would define in a little bit, and now is that moment. So let's talk a little bit about cellular health, which can be an elusive term. What do we actually mean by that? I want to start by defining a couple of terms. First, cells. Cells are the basic building blocks of all life. So think healthy tissues lead to healthy organs, lead to healthy organisms. People. We depend on cellular reproduction, and that means that each one properly carries out their specified functions. We have each cell doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's producing energy, and it's even promoting timely cell death, which might sound a little strange, but it's known as apoptosis. And that means when a cell is no longer functioning as it should, it can go to die. It needs to make room for our healthy body to produce new cells. And so that's a naturally occurring process and one that we want to support. As we age, our cellular function naturally declines and we start to feel, well, old. And now this is not necessarily a factor of how old you are, but how you're feeling. Because when I was in my late 20s, I was feeling way older than I feel now. Way less energy, way lower moods, lots of pain and inflammation going on to the point that sometimes I could barely walk. So decreases in energy and performance, not to mention being bombarded with stressors in our everyday lives, such as the free radicals which challenge our cellular health. So let's talk about what free radicals are for a moment. Maybe you've heard that term. It means that these are unstable molecules with one or more unpaired electrons. They're also known as an atom inside of you that has gone to the dark side. This is where oxidation comes in. Free radicals are like bullies. They are traveling through the body looking to steal an electron from a stable molecule, making that one unstable. And so the cycle continues if these guys get a chance to run rampant within you, contributing to oxidation. And so another way to describe oxidation might be the internal rusting of the body, which is entirely unpleasant to think about. But let's go a little further. This is called the oxidative stress cycle. So let's explore this for a minute. Let me see here. Okay. So looking at the screen, we have this vicious cycle. Every time we take a breath, we are going to bring in a 3% yield of free radicals. So every time we breathe in, 3% of that oxygen coming into the body is made up of free radicals. The oxidation accelerates inflammation. Then the inflammation accelerates the oxidation. And so it becomes a vicious cycle spinning around and around, contributing to aging, disease, and injury. So what can we do about this? Let's think about all the ways that, in addition to just breathing, these free radicals can find their way into our bodies. So intrinsically, they're multiplied due to stress, sickness, cellular stress, what we eat, how we breathe, and whether or not or how we exercise. And then there are also extrinsic factors that can amp up our free radicals. And these are overexposure to sunlight, radiation, pollution, environmental toxins, and smoking. Now, hopefully no one watching a class like this is actively smoking, because we're making healthy choices and we understand how horrible smoking is for the body. But just for the sake of illustration, consider this. If you just take one inhalation of a cigarette, you're bringing 1 quadrillion free radicals into your body. That's just one inhale. That's not one cigarette. So that is just an astronomical amount of damage that you're bringing in. And so considering all the different factors and the ways that free radicals can come in, we realize this is not something that we can escape entirely, but there is something we can do to protect ourselves and come alongside and help our bodies. So let's talk about antioxidants. And maybe that's a word that you've heard before. So who are these antioxidants and how can we get some? These are stable molecules with one or more electrons to share. They're also known as the superhero that neutralizes that rogue atom. Nicole Stevens, who is one of doTERRA's scientists, likes to call antioxidants the philanthropists of the body. And I love this example. They're the people, they're the organisms with extra to share, and they go all about the body. They travel all throughout the body doing good. And so I love that little analogy. And so how do we get these antioxidants? We want philanthropists to flood our bodies. We get them from food and supplementation, number one. Then some are made in the body to some extent, but once again, these are short-lived and they're used quickly in metabolic processes. So the focus becomes bringing in more to support and ensure that we have what we need. And as I've said before, not only to survive, but to thrive. So let's take a look at the two main functions of this supplement bottle. And these are, we're still on CRS Plus, and we're going to talk about cellular longevity and cellular energy. We're just going to break them down over these next two slides. So here you see these ingredients. What's really cool about CRS, it gives us this awesome polyphenol blend. And polyphenols are the nicknames for turbocharged antioxidants. So if we think about antioxidants as philanthropists, if they're then supercharged to become a polyphenol, then that's like the big giver in your campaign, the top philanthropist. You definitely want those polyphenols. So we see all the polyphenols here that protect our cells from free radical damage to our cellular DNA and critical cell structures. So this is an amazing lineup. If you watch Dr. Oz, you're probably familiar with a lot of these. He'll speak about them as one-offs, different supplements to bring in. You'll notice resveratrol and turmeric and pineapple, things we know to be anti-inflammatory, having great neutralizing and soothing effects, literally providing powerhouse support to the very building blocks of your entire physical body, encouraging that healthy inflammatory response. So you'll start to notice, this is key, number one, a tremendous benefit to your overall physical and mental health as you improve your internal environment, enabling your body to rejuvenate and repair damage. And then two, benefit from energy. So as I mentioned, we're going to cover cellular longevity as well as cellular energy. But before we move on to the second slide, I just want to pick out a couple more specifics on this one. Maybe you'll see boswellia there at the top left. It comes from frankincense, and you can recognize the resin there. But it's not the essential oil, it's different. So we want to differentiate that in case you were seeing that and thinking, oh, boswellia, I recognize that from frankincense. It's actually from a different part of the tree and bringing slightly different benefits. So that's why we would have both the oil and the resin. So it contributes to inflammatory response, muscle and joint support, and has positive effects on joint health. And that's been shown in many clinical studies. Very encouraging. I also wanted to mention milk thistle, which is a powerful free radical scavenger. It's like the police force going through your body and arresting the radicals. It's 10 times more powerful than vitamin E, and it supports our glutathione levels in the liver and the healthy growth of our liver cells. So really important to love on the liver as you're becoming more and more healthy and helping to support that organ as you detox. And so then let's look at cellular energy for just a moment. Got a couple pages on that one that I want to cover. And so the number one complaint or struggle that I hear are all of these mystery symptoms and illnesses. This was my personal experience as well, that cause you to feel tired all the time, but you can't really put your finger on what they are or what to do about them. You just don't feel like yourself. And so let's take a trip back to 8th grade science class, maybe biology, and talk about mitochondria, which is one of my favorite words to say. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells, or the power plants of our bodies. In these little power plants, we take food molecules and oxygen, and they are combined to produce chemical energy in the form of that ATP, which you see on the screen. And I feel like I should have typed out on the slide for you this word so you could give me some moral support. I want to pronounce it for you, but it's one of the longest words. This is adenosine-triphosphate. A very long and fancy word for basic energy. So as we age, sadly, our number of mitochondria per cell and their output efficiency both decline, wah, 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 resulting in decreased energy both mentally and physically. But the alpha CRS contains safe ingredients that support mitochondrial function for natural energy production. So we have no unwanted stimulants, no caffeine, no sugar, or the side effects that go along with them. This is going to give you the energy you need without the withdrawal symptoms or the crash. Again, helping you naturally feel better from the inside out. It accomplishes all this through the amino acids in it. And you can see some of those on the slide. Quercetin, a powerful antioxidant protection. Coenzyme Q10, important for energy production and supports heart health. Alpha lipoic acid supports production of ATP and acts as a powerful antioxidant protecting the mitochondria. Acetyl L-carotene helps shuttle fatty acids into the mitochondria for energy production. And finally, ginkgo biloba, which helps mental clarity and function. And so this brings us to the complete picture of all three components of our lifelong vitality pack. Yay, done it. And so just a few final slides for you to wrap this up. I like to compare. So if you were to go to a health food store to try to purchase all of the components of the LLV that give you the overall wellness and vitality, brace yourself, it's going to be a long list. The antioxidant and DNA protection, energy and metabolism, bone health, immune function, stress management, cardiovascular support, healthy hair, skin, and nails, eye, brain, and nervous system support, liver function, digestive health, lung and respiratory health, gentle on your stomach, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and conceding that there's no way to get the CPTG, certified pure therapeutic grade essential oil benefits without doTERRA, this is what you would be looking at. And this is just a very arbitrary attempt at compiling, just maybe a fraction of what we have in our supplement. And you're probably going to pay around $250. And that's just going to be a monthly supply that you're looking at. So hopefully it feels like a breath of fresh air to look at the price point of $79.50 for our lifelong vitality pack. It's so amazing to me that we combine all of these things at this affordable price when the value of this product, the value of your life and your vitality is beyond measure. And so I want to, if you're struggling with the price point at all, I want you to think about how serious you are about up-leveling your health. And I also want you to consider that you're not just scrounging around in the budget like you would if you were making a splurge purchase, like on a new purse or an article of clothing that's outside of your budget. What you're doing here is replacing your healthcare dollars. So if there are doctor visits or prescriptions or over-the-counter medications that you're taking, and then throw in if you're buying other supplements, add all of those things up, watch them fall away while you invest in this instead. And hopefully you'll experience what we have in our family. We now pay way less for our healthcare management versus subscribing to our sick care system. And to top all of that, doTERRA is so confident that these supplements will either meet or exceed your expectations on quality and performance. They are willing to refund an open box, fully taken supplements, 3 empty bottles, 100% up to 45 days after purchase. So they want you to take the full month and then have some days after the 30 days to determine how are you feeling, what was the impact, was it worth it, and if you're not satisfied, they will give you a 100% money back. 100% refund. Very cool. And so if that's not enough, beyond that, once you have your own account, you want to purchase your Lifelong Vitality Pack through our Loyalty Rewards program. And that way, because we as individuals may have additional needs, maybe for extra digestive support or even more energy. Yes, please. Joint support, or give our kids the goods as well. We love getting all of these at a deep discount. So what you get here is an opportunity to create a customizable supplement pack. So you start with either the daily nutrient pack. I can't understand anybody just taking the 2 and not adding the Alpha CRS Plus, but that is an option. You start with your pack, and then you can add on up to 3 additional supplements to customize for you. And these all have significant discounts. We don't add on the Microplex or the VEO Mega in our family. Greg and I both take the full Lifelong Vitality Pack, and so we don't add those on. We focus on the rest of the supplements that you can see there. We both love taking the Mito2 Max for added energy. The Deep Blue polyphenols are great for just random aches and pains. The TerraZyme is an additional digestive enzyme, which is great if you're cleansing. I actually take 1 TerraZyme with every meal, or if I'm having what I would call a cheat meal, if we get fast food or pizza, then just want to support those foods and try to get the maximum nutrition out of them. And so you want to up your dose of TerraZyme for those. PB Assist Plus, of course, is our probiotic, and then the kids kit comes with a chewable, the A to Z, and the liquid IQ Mega, which is so important for developing brains and brain health. So the IQ Mega can be taken on a spoon. It has wild orange flavor. Or, you know, we want to make sure our kids are having positive experiences with their supplements. We're trying to create a lifelong habit here. If that taste is not entirely palatable, it mixes really easily into a smoothie. Kate actually just takes it on a spoon. It's not bad at all. And the A to Z, just to caution you, it's not a gummy. It's not full of sugar. So it doesn't taste like that, but I feel like it tastes great for being a vitamin, and Kate chews those up and swallows them as well. So it's not that bad of a taste. Just if you have a kiddo transitioning from something like a Flintstone vitamin or a gummy, you just want to prepare them that this is true nutrition. These are whole foods coming in the kids as well. And so there's going to be that maybe a little bit of a difference as they come off the sugary taste. And so because we're watching, this is being recorded live on Tuesday, November 17th, 2020, we have some special opportunities. I've recorded other lives, so I'm not going to give a ton of detail here. If BOGOs get you excited, then just talk to me or the person who invited you after about the specials that are available to you today. The BOGO box, which is all the deals for the week, is still available in very limited quantity while supplies last. And that wholesales at $156.50. You're saving over $120 on oil. You're saving about $16 at a minimum on shipping. So it's an incredible value to get 10 oils, and when you average it out, you're only paying about $15 per oil. And a couple of the oils that we know already, say Adaptive and Lang Lang, they're each around $37. So the 2 of them together, if you were to just buy those 2 oils, you would spend $75. So to get 10 oils for just $75 more instead of the 2, it's an incredible value. Highly recommend. And then today's deal, if you're interested in just the one-off, you can order up to 5 of these deals, and you're going to pay $22 for the peppermint, and you're going to get Breathe Touch for free. So that's a $14 savings. So thank you so much for being here. I am going to answer a few frequently asked questions, but I want to show you these supplements and I want to show you how I organize them. So I'm going to just come out of the screen share and do a little bit of show and tell. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Let me grab the actual bottles. And as I talk, I'm going to measure out doses of each so that you can see what these look like. If this is something that you're considering, you'll know exactly what you're getting into. So the first question I'm going to cover is, how do I take these? And I'm going to recommend that you take them with a full meal. That's the recommendation on the bottle, and that's what I've always done, and I've never experienced any digestive issues. And the benefit of, as we talked about, the digestive enzymes in here, they're going to actually help you process better the foods that you're eating. So you're going to get more nutritional value out of your food when you pair the supplement with your food. A full dose is 4 pills out of each bottle each day. And a couple of ways that I do this, it all depends on my day. And so I might do breakfast and lunch if I want to be able to go to bed early, keeping in mind that you're going to get an energy boost from this. On a night like tonight when I'm teaching and I want to keep my energy up, I do my first half dose either at breakfast or lunch, and I do my second with dinner. So I have that energy boost to last me throughout the evening. So it just really depends on your schedule. How late do you stay up, and what evening activity are you anticipating? So let's take a look at these. Let's see, let's start with the Microplex VMZ. This is your vitamins and minerals. And this one, that's the biggest one that you're going to take. And so really not too bad. Then your VEO Megas. These are your cute little bright red soft gels, easiest to swallow. And then the Alpha CRS is just kind of an average looking size for a capsule. Let's see. So the next question I want to cover is, how long until I feel different? So now I wish I could give you just a magic answer to this. Unfortunately, I can't, because everybody's different. If you're taking them daily, then I would say you're going to notice something sooner rather than later. And the average is that within about 2 weeks, you're going to feel different. That was true for me. I noticed a spike in my energy and a reduction in pain and better sleep, and a lot of the benefits that I experienced within just a few days. My results were really dramatic. Not everybody has that experience. I was starting to cleanse and become healthier. Sorry, I got a piece of ice. And so I really noticed a big difference quickly. Now, if you're healthier and you're just switching from one supplement to the LLV, you may not notice something right away, a dramatic change in any of those things, until if you do the 30-day trial and you stop taking them for 15 days, that's when really healthy people will typically notice, oh man, something had changed. I miss how I was feeling while I was taking the supplements, and then it kicks in and they realize how special these really are. And so a couple things to think about if you're looking at your overall health and wellness lifestyle and you're ready to invest, I would recommend trying these for 3 to 4 months, because it takes 120 days for your red blood cells to completely replenish or turn over. And that's when you're really going to notice some long-term effect to having this level of nutrition in your body. And then just fun fact, your white blood cells can take a year or longer to turn over. And so it's kind of like, oh, the gift that just keeps on giving. As your body continually reinvents itself, you just experience new and more and greater levels of health. So that gives you something to look forward to. Another big question that I'm answered, there are 4 of these. So we're on number 3, we're almost done. Another big question that I get is, are there side effects? And the short answer to that question is no, there are not. It depends on the level of health that you have when you start. So you need to take into consideration a detox effect. So just like if a healthy person were to all of a sudden eat a fast food meal, they might experience some discomfort within a short period of time. So similarly, if an unhealthy person starts juicing and eating lots of greens and taking supplements, they might experience some discomfort to start. So I have a couple of tips if you fall into that category. You're going to want to drink plenty of water, at least half your body weight in ounces of water, if not more, as you start to get used to the supplements. You can add a drop of lemon to your water, and that's also going to help with the detoxing. It's going to support your liver and your kidneys and your other detox organs. Another idea is to maybe start with a half dose and just stair step it. You can even break your half dose down into 2 a day and just really spread that out. And then after maybe 15 days or 30 days, start to ramp up toward your full dose. I know I took a half dose for a while when I first started, and so then I got the benefit when I bumped up to a full dose of just really feeling another level of my health and vitality, which was amazing. And then sometimes you get the unexpected side effects of releasing weight and appetite suppressant. So those are fun as well. And then finally, just in terms of maybe you say, I hate to swallow pills, and 12 pills just seems like a lot. First, balance it with, is it easier to take these 12 pills than to make sure you're getting 12 or more servings of fruits and vegetables every single day? How many people are doing that? I mean, even the more and more healthy I get, I still struggle to get 12 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. And, you know, there are probably days that I do really well at that, but definitely don't do it every day. So we're all human. This is part of the reason why we're talking about supplements. So for me, I am a pill gagger. So every single pill, when I first started, I used to gag every single time, cry every single time, and just pray that I didn't spit everything projectile all over the room. I've been known to do this. So I learned a fun trick at leadership a couple of years ago by a leader who was talking about the LLV, who overcame her gag reflex in order to take these pills. And so I so appreciated this technique. When I first learned it, I was really extreme about it because, you know what I'm capable of in terms of spewing. And so I tried this at home first, and I stood up. I was very dramatic about it. I stood and bent all the way over. But the trick to it, I'm much more discreet about it now, is you want to fill your mouth with a big drink of water and then just open slightly and slip in. And I started by just doing 1 pill at a time. I'm so proud of myself. I'm now up to 2 or 3 pills at a time, and let them float on the water, and then just feel them in your mouth for a minute, and then let the whole drink of water float back down your throat. And it just relaxes the throat, and it's so much easier to get those pills down. Now, some people don't have any trouble at all, but this was life-changing for me. I was gonna gag them all down anyway because they were so important to me, and the way that they were making me feel was so special. But to have this trick at my disposal has been a real gift. And so I always like to make sure I pass that along. The other thing that I do, I have this little set myself up for success routine on Sundays. I put my pills, instead of lugging these bottles around everywhere, I put my pills into this cute little case, and I just sit on a Sunday afternoon and fill them all. And so here's an example. Okay, let's see. Today is a Tuesday, so I've already taken my morning dose. So we'll look at Wednesday, and that's what that looks like. And so this is so convenient to just grab out the day, and you can just dump them out on the counter and take them if you're at home, or you can put this whole thing in your bag and take it with you to a restaurant, or if you're traveling. This really eliminates any excuse not to take your vitamins. And I like to then add in those other things. As I mentioned, every meal I'm taking Terrazyme. In my early dose, I like to have that Mito2 Max. In my late day dose, I like to incorporate something called DDR Prime. That can all be customized and tailored to meet your individual needs. So I hope all of this extra added information blesses you. If you're watching this recording, please reach out to the person who invited you or to me if you're interested in enrolling in doTERRA, just asking some more questions, putting together a personal wellness plan. We would love to be your advocate and sit with you and help you. For those of you attending live here with me tonight, I'm going to stop the recording, so hang with me, and I'm going to promote you all to panelists so that we can see each other and visit for a minute, and I'll just get your feedback and answer any questions that you have live. So stick with me. And for those of you watching the recording, thank you again so much for being here. Here's to your continued health and wellness.